Hello, my name is Bram, and today we're going to talk about clothes, especially should you buy clothes based on trend? Let's talk about it. So, before we get into it, what is trend? So, trend is something that has a lot of mainstream appeal to the point where it became popular for a lot of people. And in correlation with fashion, trend is something that is inseparable, as trend is what drives fashion forward most of the time. Trend is what drives innovation. Trend is what keeping you know, fashion alive. So it raised another question. Should you buy clothes based on trend? So to answer this simple question, you need to evaluate three things. The first, we have wants and needs. Second, we have quality. And third, we have longevity. Let's get right into it. So the first one, we have wants and needs. Before we buy a certain item, before we buy a piece of clothing, we need to reevaluate ourselves, whether we actually want it or whether we actually need this stuff. Because there's a lot of times where maybe you only buy stuff just for the sake of the trend. You only buy this stuff because it's trendy, which ultimately there's nothing wrong with that, but it also can lead to some irresponsible financial decision. So I think we need to evaluate ourselves whether we actually want it or need this item before actually purchasing it. So the second thing we have is quality. So because the trend cycles so fast, especially with this rise of social media like Instagram, like Twitter or TikTok, trend comes and goes so fast to the point where maybe one time the shoes are going to be trending for a week, and the other time maybe the other shoes are going to be the trend for the next week. And more often than not, this cycle does not followed by quality. So you need to figure out whether this clothes that you're going to be buying, whether this item that you're going to be buying is worth the hype. Is the quality of this item going to be on par with their popularity so that you ultimately going to be able to wear this for a long time. So the third thing we have is longevity. One of the biggest problem with buying clothes off of trends is once the trend is over, people are going to either throw them away or it's just going to be another pile of unused clothes stuck tucked away in your wardrobe, which is something we don't want. So after we evaluate whether we want it or not, after we evaluate the quality, we need to evaluate their longevity. Are we going to be able to wear this in a long period of time? Are we going to still wear it even though the trend is over? These things we need to evaluate because if we just throw the stuff away once the trend died out, it will not only be bad for it will not only be bad financially, it will also be bad for the environment because it's just going to be another landfill. It's just going to be another trash that's going to pollute the environment. So I think it's important for us to have longevity in mind when we buy clothes because that way we can ensure that we have a long lasting wardrobe that we are able to wear for a long period of time. So, to answer the question, should you buy clothes because of trend? The answer is yes, but you need to evaluate before you buy. You need to evaluate whether you actually want and need this thing, whether the quality is up to par with their popularity, and whether this piece of clothing has the longevity that is going to last you for a long period of time, or whether you're actually going to still be wearing it even after the trend is over. Therefore, you can ensure that the clothes you're buying, the piece you're buying in your wardrobe can last you for a long period of time. And that is all. I hope we all can draw some useful information and thank you for tuning in. Bye.